Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I didn't film on Thursday because, well, Thursdays are just busy for me. I didn't want to film yesterday because it was Good Friday, but I probably should have because I now have to do 2 videos today, and I just realized that you guys aren't going to be getting videos for the next 2 weeks because I'm gone both those weeks because next week is Easter break and I have this week-long thing for my school that I'm going to. So that's just a day in the life of passion, and if you may notice, I took my shelf down. Actually, it fell down. It's not really in a good spot because, I always hit it with my shoulders when I'm getting dressed. I hit it with, like, my clothes, and then it just falls down, and it's making, you can see the holes in the wall, like, it's making really big holes in the wall because of it, so. Yeah, I didn't put, so it's sitting like right here, and I had all the stuff that was on it is on the floor. But anyway, How to Train Dragon Week. So you may notice that the last video I did was Wednesday, and it was similarities between How to Train Your Dragon and the books and the movies, and I completely forgot certain parts of it. So this is part 2, and then I'm gonna do the video that was supposed to be this video, which is TV episodes and plot lines that are similar to the books. So I didn't talk about the dragons. So, now only certain dragons are in the books, and the characters don't actually have the correct dragons. Our characters that have the correct dragons are Hiccup and Astrid, technically. I mean, movies, they have the correct dragons, but if we're going off of the books, they do as well, no one else does. But Hiccup's dragon, Toothless, is not as big as he is. In the books, he's about the size of an iguana, and he is what is known as common or garden, which is the, well, it's in the name. It's the common or garden. It's the most common dragon you can get. Now, of course, Hiccup, being the chief's son, can get a monstrous nightmare, but he doesn't. He gets what's known as the most common dragon in the entire dragon history. Of course, when his dad finds out, his dad is really upset with him, but he convinces his dad that Toothless is what's known as a Toothless Daydream, which is a very rare dragon, but in the end, we actually found out that Toothless is what's known as a Sea Dragon Maximus, which is the coolest dragon ever, because it grows to like the size of a house, if not bigger, and then it shrinks back down to the size of an iguana again, and that's really cool. Now, of course, Stormfly is in the books. She's in from books 3 on, I think. She might not be in all of them, but that's where she first appears in book 3. Except she's not a deadly natter. And yes, deadly natters are in the book. I wasn't sure what that. I knew that Gronkles and Monstrous Nightmares were, but I wasn't sure about deadly natters. But they are. But they're not what they look like in the movies. So I was actually surprised deadly natters were even in the books. I'm not even sure what books they're in, but they're in books, I guess. In the books, Stormfly is a mood dragon, and like the name suggests, she changes color based on her mood. Unless she's lying, then she's purple. Or is she gold? It's one of the two. She's either gold or purple when she's lying. Probably purple. Gold wouldn't make sense. And Toothless does have a slight crush on Stormfly, which is a little weird, because in the books, the dragons do actually speak Dragonese, and Hickory understand them, so you understand what they're saying, whereas in the movies, the dragons do have somewhat of a personality, but they're animals, whereas in the books, they're animals, but they're also almost like humans, because they have a distinctable personality, whereas in the movies, their personality is as distinctable as it can be with animals and reptiles. Now, of course, fish legs. Now, of course, in the books, the Vikings usually have 2 dragons, sometimes more. They usually have a hunting dragon and a riding dragon. I don't think Kamikaze has a riding dragon in one book. They do, and Hiccups is a winged walker, which is also a really cool dragon. Wind walker which is also a really cool dragon. Now, fish legs. He also has a common or garden dragon known as horror cow. Of course, this dragon is a vegetarian and spends the entirety of book 9 on top of Fishleg's head. And of course, Fishleg's bright dragon is also a very common dragon. In the fact that it is also very common, it is a chicken poxer. Snotlout does have a monstrous nightmare in the book, but he's actually not allowed one. Even though he is the nephew of the chief, he is not allowed a monstrous nightmare, as only the chief and his descendants are. But he has one nonetheless, and its name is Fireworm, which you might recognize as a dragon from the movies. However, Fireworm is a lot like Crookshank, but a lot worse. Fireworm is like his master, her master, a bully. Now, of course, Tupnut does have a dragon in the book, but since Tupnut's like not in any other books, we don't know what his dragon is. Now, of course, Meadlike, of course, is not in the books, but it would probably be Dog's Breath, the Brains, Grunkle, which I don't even know if that has a name. However, Hookfang is in the books, but he is only in like the first book. He's like only mentioned in the first one. And that is the fact that he is Doik the Vast's dragon. So, as for the dragons that are in the book and the movies, like I've said, I already mentioned that Deadly Natters, Gronkles, and Monstrous Nightmares are in the books, but that's about it. Most of the dragons that are in the movies or the books are different. They're usually not the same at all, as they each have a different setting. As for whether or not they're based off of dragons, I think Terrible Terrors are maybe based off of Common Guardians a little bit. Yeah. And at first I noticed that several dragons in the book seem to have more heads, as some of them often had 3, but there is this one dragon that appears like in the second movie for like a second that has 4. So turns out I'm wrong. Okay. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe, and notification bell, and stay tuned for the next video, which will be this evening. And then after that, you're gonna have to wait till May because I'm gone the rest of April. Alright, see you.